There was a man born in Vienna in 1909 whose ideas would change how businesses and individuals operate forever. Known as the father of management, his work didn't just apply to big corporations. The core of his ideas can help you manage yourself and achieve things you thought were impossible. So if you've ever felt like you're putting in a ton of effort but getting nowhere, then maybe the lesson from this man could help. It certainly helped me, and that man was Peter Drucker. Drucker believed in a simple but profound idea: what gets measured gets managed. At first, this seems like common sense, right? But there's a hidden depth to it. If you don't measure progress, how do you know if you are improving? Think of it this way: you can't improve something unless you see it clearly, and the only way to see it clearly is to track it. Without measurements, you're just guessing, hoping that things will somehow get better. And hope, while beautiful, isn't a great strategy. That's why Drucker's principle became one of the foundations of modern management. But here's the kicker: his ideas aren't just for CEOs and business leaders, they apply to everyone, including you and me. The idea of measurement sounds simple when you think about things like weight loss. You step on a scale, look at the number, and boom, you know if you're progressing. Easy, right? But here's the problem: not everything in life is that obvious. How do you measure if your relationships are improving? How do you track if your mental well being is on the rise? Or if you're becoming smarter, more skilled, or emotionally balanced? These things don't come with built in scales or numbers, and because we can't easily measure them, we often ignore them altogether. That's where a lot of us go wrong. If we don't track the things that truly matter, we risk drifting aimlessly through life. I realized this when I found myself constantly busy, reading, working, exercising, but never really sure if I was making progress. It felt like I was just spinning my wheels, hoping things would magically improve. Spoiler alert, they didn't. Imagine you've decided to lose weight. You come up with a plan: 1 meal a day and 45 minutes of exercise. Great. Here's what happens next. You track your meals. Do you stick to 1 meal? Yes or no? You track your exercise. Do you work out for 45 minutes? Yes or no? You track the result. Is your weight going down? And if it's not working, you adjust the plan and try again. Simple, right? This is the power of feedback loops. You set a goal, track your actions, measure the results, adjust, and repeat. That's how progress happens. But here's where things get tricky. The hardest part isn't measuring weight or tracking your gym sessions. It's measuring things that aren't so obvious, like your personal growth, relationships, or happiness. When I first tried to measure things like my personal growth or relationships, it felt awkward. There's no scale for these things. How do you even know if your friendships are getting better? Do you send out surveys to your friends? Please don't do that. What I found though is that you don't need perfect data. Even loose tracking helps. For example, I started keeping a journal where I'll jot down quick reflections. How many meaningful conversations did I have this week? What new thing did I learn today? Did I spend enough time on things that matter? These tiny reflections started adding up. Even when I wasn't seeing massive results, I had data to fall back on, something to guide me and show me where I needed to adjust. And believe me, the data doesn't lie. If you're not making time for the things that matter, it shows. And if you are, that shows too. Tracking progress can feel like a chore. There were plenty of times where I thought, do I really need to measure this? And yeah, some days I just didn't bother. But here's the thing: it gets easier over time. At first, it felt like a burden, but once I got into the habit of tracking, it became second nature. Measurement isn't a chore, it's what keeps you going. And when I started to see progress, even small progress, it gave me the motivation to keep going. There's something deeply satisfying about knowing that the steps you're taking are moving you in the right direction. Here's the most important thing I learned: measurement doesn't guarantee success. It's just a tool. If you're not taking action, tracking won't help you. It's not enough to measure. You need to act on what you learn. This was a game changer for me. When I started tracking my reading progress and coding practice, I saw where I was lacking, and that gave me clarity. I knew what to change. The beauty of measurement is that it gives you feedback, and feedback is the key to improvement. It's like having a compass. It shows you if you're on the right path or if you need to adjust course. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this, you can make more progress in 3 months by tracking and adjusting your actions than you can in 1 year of aimless effort. Think about that. Most people spend a whole year working hard, but without knowing if they're moving in the right direction. But if you track and adjust regularly, you'll see results faster and with less frustration. So if you've been feeling like you're putting in the effort but not getting anywhere, maybe it's time to try something new. Pick a goal that matters to you. Start measuring your progress. Track your actions, adjust as you go, and watch how things change. As Peter Drucker taught us, what gets measured gets managed. And if you manage the right things, you'll be amazed at how much you can achieve.